I work with Texas Tech with the Tech Teach program. I build partnerships with all of your amazing community colleges and also with the colleges in Tarrant County. And our mission is very simple. We are looking for the highest quality teachers possible for our communities where the needs are the greatest. And we work with Dallas ISD. Everybody say, "Yay, Dallas!" Yes. Which, thank you very much for hosting us today. We're very excited to be here, and we'll turn it over to our hosts in just a moment so they can introduce themselves to you as well. But we also work with Red Prairie ISD, DeSoto ISD, and Fort Worth ISD. And not only do we work with the districts in partnership and with the community colleges to prepare you to become very high quality educators, but we are also very dedicated to making sure that you get a job. That employment piece is very important. Students in our program are working very, very hard. It's a very intense 1 year that they are committing to basically working as if they're doing 2 days of work every day for a full year and maintaining that work ethic. But the nice thing about that is at the end of that, they do have a job waiting for them with the schools. You actually have to pass your teacher state certification exam by the first week of December once you start our program in July, because you will actually be going through job fairs and interviews in that spring semester. And by the time you graduate at Texas Tech and you're crossing the stage and they're announcing your future plans, you've already gotten a position, you've already been decorating your classroom. It's a very seamless transition for you to finish your program and start teaching. So that's our hope for you today, is to get an insight into what it looks like for the students that are in the classrooms, that are currently working in our program as teacher candidates or studying as teacher candidates, and these will be hopefully our future educators here in Dallas ISD. So thank you all for being here. I know the weather is crazy. It's a great day to look like a wet cat. I had a beautiful curl thing going on, and then rain happened. But lesson number one in education is always be flexible and always have a smile and just be ready to roll, right? I could have worn better clothes to roll, but thankfully we're not doing that just yet. But thank you all so much for being here. Very, very happy to see you all. Thank you for making the effort to come with all the crazy weather. We really appreciate your time. We'll pass it on to Jeff Lowe.
I'm Victoria. I'm the principal here at Jeff Lowe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniels. Welcome, welcome. I'm your assistant principal.
I'm Lisa Hunt, special education here at Jack Lowe.
And currently recruiting students.
Hi, I'm Debbie Young. I'm principal for the day, third year, same school.
Welcome.
First of all, I just wanted to welcome you into Jeff Lowe. We're very excited to have you all here. It's a great place to be, and we love our school. Of course, I'm a little biased because I am the principal, but I wanted to really commend you on being part of the Texas Tech program. I really, really hope for you, those of you that are thinking about it, please, please, please do it. Go for it. We need the best teachers in the classroom. Our kids need it. We're depending on them to be our future leaders. But the Texas Tech program by far surpasses any other program that I've seen teachers go through. They are very correct. They guarantee you, I mean, it's not, I'm sure it's not a 100% guarantee, but I've never seen a Texas Tech person that didn't have a job. Our teachers fight over who's going to get the TC, the teacher candidate, in their classroom, and then we're always recruiting. So anytime we get an opening, the first people I call are Ms. Marquez and Ms. Bautista and Mr. Morales, and I say, okay, who can you send me? I need somebody like yesterday. And they're always very quick to respond. But the Texas Tech candidates are probably the most sought after students and beginning year teachers. When I talk to other principals or anybody across the district, they always say, you know, was this a Texas Tech person? Yes, I've got them. It doesn't even matter, yes, the interview matters, but if you've got Texas Tech attached to your name, we know that you're a good candidate.
Guns up.
So, yeah, Texas Tech is an excellent program. Please, 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 if you are thinking about it, if you want to be a teacher, you shouldn't be going through any other program besides Texas Tech, okay? And I'm just gonna let you know what it's like, okay? You have a year, you do intensive training, and then you have a job, a guaranteed job. You're gonna be way more prepared than any other teacher that's a first-year teacher, and principals are gonna be highly looking for you to come to their campuses. So it just doesn't make sense if you want to be a teacher to go through any other program. So for those of you that are already in the TC program, congratulations. I know you guys are going to have a really bright future. And for those of you that want to come on board, I urge you to go through Texas Tech. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Vargas.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate that. And I also wanted wanted to share one important fact. I think you're all aware of this, but by attending our field trip today, if you decide to join our cohort this summer and you go through the admissions process and you're recommended to join the program, we will be paying your $75 application fee as a thank you for coming on the field trip today. So that is something that we'll take care of for you if that is the choice that you make for this summer. I do want to turn it over just very quickly to our district partners, both DISD and Richland College, and then we'll introduce our team, and then I'll turn it over to Ms. Marquez to give us some instructions on the groups we'll be moving into. So Ms. Medina.
A warm welcome to everyone. I'm the teacher education coordinator for Richland College. I take pride in the work that we do at Richland, and I take pride in my students and their level of preparation. And this means so much to me that I wanted to take time out of my schedule to come and be with my students and tell them the importance and highlighting the programs that I know will work for them. We work collaboratively, very close with our partner districts, Dallas ISD, with our local universities, Texas Tech being one of them. I visit their campuses. In fact, I have worked for Texas Tech before.
Teaching teachers?
Teaching teachers, many years ago. And I strongly believe in the program, and this is the reason why I'm here, because I want my students to go through that seamless process from preparation to hiring and to implementing everything that they've learned so they have the high quality outcomes with their students. So I welcome you all here. My name is Professor Medina. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm with Richland College. Thank you.
And the lady behind the camera. This is a very important person, no matter what program you choose to go through, if you are going to be student teaching in Dallas ISD.
Yes, so welcome to Dallas ISD. We are so glad you're here today. We have such a wonderful, vast district. We have over 230 plus schools in our district. And so because of that, we offer very unique programming, which you're going to see today at Jack Lowe. We're a personalized learning school here. And so when you become a student teacher in Dallas ISD, you get a very personalized experience. So not only do you fit in with the school culture here and you become part of the family, but we work at the district really hard to support and welcome you. So we offer a career workshop every semester where we look at your resume to make sure it's educationally focused and results driven. We do mock interviews with the Dallas ISD employees. I do school tours. So this was last week or 2 weeks ago. We went to 3 elementary schools and 3 secondary schools. And you were able to network with principals there, observe other classrooms, get to see what's going on just besides your placement. We do a celebration at the end where we do certificates and refreshments. And then I work very hard to make sure that you all get jobs at the very end. That is the ultimate goal because we really want you. Like Principal Barrios was saying, we want you. You are going to be a part of a really strong teacher prep program with Texas Tech, and we believe that our students need that. And so we do early access to our job fairs, and I have a database of your resumes, and I send it off to principals. So we're so excited that you're here. We hope you choose Tech, and we hope you choose Dallas ISD for your student teaching experience. If you have any questions about Dallas ISD, Jack Lowe, they all know everything. I'm also available to help answer any questions about that student teaching experience from a district perspective. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm glad that everyone is here. Just like Dr. Munoz mentioned, we know it's a little bit crazy with the weather, but we're glad that you made the time to come and experience our field trip because we do want to make sure you see that because I know a lot of you are like, but what is it to be a Tech Teach student or what is it to student teach, right? Because it's different when we come and tell you in the class visits or when we meet for advising appointments. So you kind of get to see it in action today, and we're very thankful to Ms. Barrios for opening out her doors, to come and let us in because of course we have 9 students that are placed here at Jack Lowe, both the regular, model and of course also with personalized learning. And then also Ms. Barrios has hired as well as many students from our program that are already currently teachers here. Some of them is their first year, some of them is their second or third year, on and on. So we'll hopefully kind of see them in the hallway and say hi to them. But the classrooms that we'll be visiting today, those are the main ones where our students are in, so you can kind of see them in action. So thank you again for being here. We're excited to show you what our program is all about, and of course what Jack Lowe also is all about, because it's a really great school. It's amazing. Again, in the ISD, we do want you to come back and teach here, and of course represent us as you become an educator and we become colleagues as well. Of course we also have Ms. Bautista. She's the Dallas site coordinator. Yes, over here. You got it. So, some of you probably have met her before if you are in the process of interviewing. If you're not, of course, then you get to see her. But she's one of them. There's more others.
One of them.
Yeah, she's one of them. We have a few. Our team is pretty big here in Dallas. But, the other site coordinators couldn't be here because they're in the middle of observations as well. But they do say that they're excited and they hope to see you also join our program, soon. If you can't, if you're not probably ready for 2019, but, there's always 2020.
As you heard, ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to have you all. I'm super happy to have you in our group. If you take a look here, well, you might not have the schedule, but I'll just share with you. We're going to get to see a second grade classroom, and we're also going to have an opportunity to see a third grade classroom and a fourth grade classroom. So the first class on our schedule is Miss Brown, and that's in room 141. So I guess we can head this way.
We haven't used glossary yet. We haven't used math yet. And the next one we said was caption.
Hey!
What was the one that gave us the definition? Glossary. And then we said this one was diagram. And then the last one I gave you for free. What was that one? Index.
easier to be easier than teacher innocence fees. Very sweet. So what are some of the things that you guys observed? What did you notice? We can huddle together so everybody can hear everybody. Actually, let's come this way so we get out of their way. What are some of the things that you guys observed in the classroom? What did you notice?
On the chair, she has like the fan on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I guess if they like to fidget, like it will be.
It helps the noise,
Yeah.
right? So there's an opportunity for students to be able to move and not have to be flexible seating. Thank you. That's a great academic term. Helps students have an opportunity to still be able to focus in a way that works for them without distracting everybody. What else did you observe?
Student-teacher interaction.
Yeah. Did you notice the teacher candidate? So when you walked in the room initially, could you tell who was who? Which one was the teacher of the classroom and which one was the teacher candidate? No. It's not really evident, right? They're both teachers in the classroom. They're both working with the students. Once you are in there for a minute, then you identify. And of course, I probably gave it away when I gave her a hug, and I was very excited to see her. But you can essentially see that both individuals and both professionals in the room are working with the students. They're teaching and they're maximizing that instructional time. And you notice that she was very confident, right? She just started in the program, so she began at the beginning of the school year. So she hasn't been in the classroom for years or anything like that. She just started in August at the end of the month. So it's been maybe 2 months for her that she's been able to experience that. And already getting a lot of that confidence in working with her students. Awesome. So the next group we're going to get to observe is Miss or Mr. Rivera in 137. We're at 141, so I think we might have just passed it as we were walking this way. So we'll go ahead and head right back.
Really hard.
Super hard.
Okay, you ready? Okay, so let's do.
Okay, ready? En el placement, Sofía. ¿Dónde tú crees que vamos a escribir 45? There you go. Ahí adentro. Tengo los niños. Ahora, this is 45 minutes you wait to block
Melissa Watson, and I am from Eastville College.
And why do you want to attend today's tour?
Well, Miss Gomez, she piqued my interest when she came to my education class, and she spoke to us about their program, about how we're fast track, well, they're fast track, and we're able to get into the schools very quickly, and also be able to finish our semester or our year that we have in our program to finish our bachelor's. So I thought that it was a really good program, a really good opportunity for young students, especially who are trying to get in quickly. So it was going to be a good experience, I hope.
Yeah, and what grade do you want to teach?
I'm peaking from 2nd to 5th grade.
It's very interesting how they play next to each other.
Now, they added more chairs. Now use the highlighter. The highlighter. How many more chairs did they drop to the top?
27. What was our second number? 19. Very good. Now, For our tens, how many tens in our first number? 2. So I am drawing 2 tens. You see that? What about for our ones? 7. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now what about for our second number? How many tens do we have? 1. So then I draw a 1 in my tens. What about my ones? 9. Very good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna put these together, right? So let's count. How many are we gonna count? 10, right? So let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then what am I gonna do? We're gonna circle it. Where are we gonna move it to? To our 10. So then let's see what we have left over. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we write our. Now let's see how many times we have. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. So did we all do 46? Very good. Very good. Alright, you guys ready for our next one?
Really and girly and beautiful, or as sciencey and mathematically as you want it to look. There really isn't, I mean, the school might have a theme or general guidelines. This is what we want your classroom to look like. But you have free reign in making that classroom your space with your students, right? And of course, when you include their work, you get them involved in that. They start putting things up. They start feeling excited about that ownership. Hi. Can you do a guns up? Guns out. She's beautiful. So every teacher gets to decide what they want to do and how they want to dress up their classroom, because it's your spot, right? When I was a classroom teacher, I used to tell my students, this is our school family. We spend more time together here than we do at home with our own families during the day. So we really have to make it inviting and give the children time to be there and make them look forward to being there because it's their classroom. Did you notice anything about the learning objectives that you saw in the classroom? What did you see when you compared the objective to what the teachers were doing? Don't be shy. I know there's like a camera on our face, but they're just excited about your experience. They want to be a part of it.
Well, they were doing that.
They were doing that.
It's about legal class, so he was trying to teach them in both Spanish and English.
So very good observation. In Dallas ISD, math is taught in English, but in a bilingual classroom, if a student is struggling and a teacher can interject to help with some of those instructions, that might help. Ideally, we do want to focus on the language of instruction and be as loyal to that as possible because it helps the students with the consistency when they go from grade level to grade level and it's always the same. But, just like when you asked me earlier, hey, can we talk to the students? When we're here, ultimately, the goal is to help them learn. So if we know that interjecting that one little thing is going to help them understand the process and then they're going to be able to be independent with it, that piece is helping them learn and move forward. Cutie, are we in your door? I'm sorry. Are you all right? Cute. Ultimately, the bottom line is if you're in that driver's seat with the students and you see that, okay, if I explain it this one way, it might just turn around their understanding of it, then go for it, help them learn. That's what you're there to do. It's like once you start taking on that piece of being more brave and adventurous with it, you really realize that the sky is the limit as far as what you can accomplish students. One thing I would like you to notice in the next few observations is take a look at the questions that the teachers are asking and notice how much of it is prompting the students versus allowing them to kind of think about that process. And maybe just even think, how would you ask that question? What would you say if you were that teacher in that moment working with the student? So the next two classrooms we're going to get to go see are 3rd grade and 4th grade, and they're upstairs. And I'm excited because we're going to get to see the Magic Treehouse hallway, which is my favorite. and wellness is very important for teachers too. And you get an impression of that importance from the school when they dedicate a space like this for the teachers. Did you ever think teachers had a gym? No. It's really awesome. And what does that say to the students? When we make that as a priority for ourselves as an adult, what are we communicating to the students that way? What are we telling them? When we're saying teachers have a gym, they get to go work out.
They need to do it too.
Exactly, right? It's helping the students understand that that's something important. And then that's another relational piece that you can connect with the students is like they're going to PE. Well, you know what? I'm going to the gym too. What are you guys doing in PE today? Ultimately, any piece that you can find to build relationships and connect with your students, they're going to be more excited about building a relationship with you, coming to school to work hard for you every day. It can be an exciting, beautiful environment where kids are just like, I can't wait to go to my school, because they know teachers care and teachers are genuinely invested in their lives. All right, I just wanted to show you the gym, but we'll go ahead and go. We're going to go to Mr. Edward, or Mr. Gallo, excuse me. Instructions, so we're going to make sure you got a little bit in the back and kind of observe it. So you have
Keep going. I love it. Yeah, because I love it.
Good, I see that Ezra found it. So this one, Jordan found the clue. All right. Ooh, this seems fun. Okay, holy moly.
Welcome, Molly.
All right, what clue or synonym did you use to help you figure out what the word soak means? Same person. Gabriel, what did you find?
I found soap up.
Inspire?
Would that be okay, Ms. Young? If they want to work with a student in answering those questions?
Yeah, so if you could just read to them, but they have to do the rest.
They have to do the work on their own.
Yeah, you're welcome to read to them.
If you'd like to read a question to one of the students.
Boys and girls, we are really lucky, so we have some friends that would love to read to you. So if you have anything you need read aloud, you can raise your hand. They can't help you on the question and answering it, but they can read it out loud. All right, so they're going to be looking for raised hands if you need that help.
Co-teaching model is called one teach, one assist. So just like the title suggests, one teacher is teaching and the other one is assisting. And especially at the very beginning of the program, when you're still getting comfortable, you're still getting to know the students, it's very common to see that co-teaching model a lot. As the teacher candidates are gaining that confidence and getting to know the students. But towards the end of the program, it actually flips. And you're going to be the person that's leading the lesson, and your mentor teacher will be there to assist and observe you. So once you get those skills and you're confident and you're ready to do more on your own, it transitions from working in a small group to parallel teaching, where you're bringing the class in half, to ultimately you taking the lead role and the mentor being there to assist and support you. What did you notice about the children and how it works differently when they're in the group instruction? Any observations there? Yeah, so there's a collaborative environment, even though they're kind of listening to the teacher, they're still working together. Did you notice any behavioral issues or distractions? A little bit of that is normal, right? But you noticed there were some students that had these offices around their space. What do you think that's for? It basically limits those distractions for some children that maybe have high sensitivity to all those things going on around them. It might help to just be like, okay, you have a little space, you can come back in here and regroup before you are looking out there to see everything that's going on. Or for a child that is maybe constantly distracting somebody else, that's also a strategy that can help them limit that distraction to others. Yeah. So they had different tables. Why do you think some kids are very close up front to the teacher at the projector? They probably need a little bit more support, right? Whether academically or behaviorally. But those are exactly the things that's kind of the art of what a teacher does. Right? You get to know your students, you understand that not every student is going to need the same thing. So maybe this group of students needs to sit really close there. This group might need their dividers. This group might need to support by reading the questions to them. So getting to know your students' needs is part of that process. And the more skills that you build as a teacher, the more you're able to identify how to meet those needs and help them succeed. Any other observations? Anything else you noticed? What did you see in the program?
She just had like a sheet and saying, how are you feeling? And some toys, I guess.
Just to have a minute, all right? How much do you think that benefits the aggravation of, like, I don't know if you guys have ever been in classrooms where behavior has been a concern, or when it's not well managed, or when kids are just all over the place. We've hopefully not seen very many examples of that, but when you think about that as a learning environment, it's very hectic for children. So having an outlet like that where they can just sit down for a minute and calm down. I've seen a lot of classrooms where in that little pull down spot they'll put a mirror so the kids can see their faces, just like, what are you looking like right now? Are you looking crazy? Are you calm? Like, you know, what are you projecting into the rest of the world on your face? But those are strategies that we teach our children. They don't come to school knowing, well, I'm knowing how perfectly to cope with my emotions. We teach those things, and maybe it's not in the curriculum of the lesson or on the objective board, but a good teacher is constantly including those things in their environment and in their teaching. Good observation. Did you like her theme? Yes. Did you notice the brick wall, the faux brick? It's paper. Yes, sir.
What I liked is that she knew that we were coming, but she still kept focusing on the lesson. And all three teachers did the same thing. Is they know what their work.
They're not putting on a show for us. They're not like, oh, people are in my room, what do I do? They're just continuing as business as usual. And you can tell the students too, right? They're also in that mode of, I'm still going to focus on my lesson. I'm going to do what I'm here to do. And a lot of that is the evidence of that good classroom management. Awesome. Good observation. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to this brick next door right here to our left. And this is 4th grade. Let's check it out.
parentheses 8 times what? 1,000. And then plus 8 times $0, 0 dimes, 1 penny. I told you the strategy. What do we do? X1. Send coin. Sorry.
Even if you don't know what the discipline is, or if you don't know what's going on.
Okay. What kind of coin is this? What's the place value? This one, right? And how many am I supposed to have here? 8 pennies, right? Or 800.
Okay, 321 and 556.
8.
Okay, and then can you
I
show
got
me
1 penny.
what it would
Times
look
8
like in
equals
standard
what?
form and what it would look like in expanded notation?
$0.
And you can follow my example.
0 dimes, 8 pennies. 8 por 1. ¿Qué se hace eso? 8. Then you get rid of this.
And did you answer
Yeah,
the
then
other
you
one
get the
that I
answer.
showed? Let me see.
And then what am I supposed to do with those 2 answers? A piece of paper? Yes. Now you're supposed to add. So go ahead and start working on this.
Okay. So this one is 0.
I'm looking for pennies. So B is not the answer. B is not the answer. Trust me what I'm doing. Add those 2 numbers. Add those 2 numbers, right?
Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additions. We already used the 0. We already used the 7. What number do you think we're going to use next?
How do you get I get a bird board. They're getting bigger. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Hi, how are you? Can we say hi to them? Yeah. Would y'all like to meet our group of observers? This is Miss Bedoya. She's one of the site coordinators that we mentioned wasn't able to join us because she's observing students. Nice to meet you. Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself with that?
I'm Whitney. I'm a site coordinator.
Well, almost.
I mean, oh my gosh.
You
I'm
will
so
be one
sorry.
day.
No,
I
I'm
love
not.
it. I love that confidence.
I'm so sorry.
You are totally fine. I'm like, you're fine.
No, I'm at TC.
Well, actually, let's quiz them. Do you remember what we call the students in our program?
TC.
What does that stand for? Teacher candidate. Yeah, she's a teacher in the making, right? Hopefully she'll be there before, and she will be a site coordinator one day. That's awesome. Are y'all waiting for the students? Okay. Well, we just wanted to say hi. Thank you for stopping to talk to us for a moment. It's good to see you. So what are here? We can come over here. Wait a little bit. What are some of the things that you ladies and gentlemen observed here in Mr. Mercado's room? What were they working on? Working on math. Yeah.
Oh, like he had that board where if you were done with your work, you can go get something from there. And it was like relevant to the stuff.
So it's still a task for the students to complete. If you finished your work, you're not just going to sit there and be distracting other people, right? You have something else that you can jump right into. You guys noticed the data wall? What were some of your takeaways on that as far as comparing the 3 classes there? It's a visual, right? It's enabling the students to see visually, this is where I was on the first assessment, now I'm here. Not only can they track their own progress, but what else can they see?
Please don't waste our time. We need a straight line, please.
Not just everybody in their one class, but what other documents? They have all 3 classes, right? 4A, 4B, and 4C. And it's still protected confidentially. Each student has a number, so they're not going to be identified by who their name is, but they're still able to see overall how am I measuring up to everybody else in my classroom and throughout my grade level. If students start thinking about those things at a young age, thinking about their comparative advantage, thinking about how they can improve, that sets up those skills that are going to help them be more autonomous with that when they go to middle school and high school and college, right? Because you guys are thinking about those things like, what's my grade? How do I get it better? How am I doing compared to the class average? So what an awesome focus for students to start thinking about data as early as 4th grade. What did you notice about the teacher? Well, could you tell at first who was who? It was a little more blended in this one, right? She's also a student. She was actually a student with Miss Medina, and she just started as well in August. So she may have been in the classroom a month and a half, but she already was like, okay, well, here's the place value. When the student was struggling, did you notice what she went to? What did she pull out to start working with the student? she had coins, right? To demonstrate. I mean, those are called manipulatives, items that the students can manipulate or use with their hands, because that abstract thinking sometimes doesn't start working in their brains until a little bit later in their development. So if they have a concrete example to use, that can help them then get to that next skill or help understand that next piece. Awesome. Well, great, guys. You guys are doing great. We're actually, yes?
Was the data based on how ready they're for the text? Or?
Great question. Thank you for asking that question. So the specific data on those columns, the first one said BOY. BOY stands for beginning of year. So they must have had a common assessment just to see where the students were at the very beginning of coming into this new grade level. And then the next column said CA1, which stands for common assessment. So teachers work as a team to create an assessment that is used for the whole grade level. And they are creating those assessments based on the text that they're teaching. Did you notice the alignment there on the board? What was the very top part that you saw? The number that was listed like 4.3C or 4.3B. Do you know what that comes out of? Yeah, the standards, exactly. You know it. The state standards, the text, right? Have you guys been learning about the text, the TEKS, Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills? That's the curriculum that we have from the state. Then we, as teachers, take that curriculum and create a lesson plans. The learning objective, the LO, underneath that tag, that's the learning objective for that particular lesson. And did you see what was below the learning objective? The DOL, the demonstration of learning. So that is the assessment that corresponds to that particular objective. So by the end of that lesson, if they're able to do that, we have that data on the needs to be taught, and we're going to keep it. Our next two observations are right here as well, 243 and 242. It looks like they're ready for us now, so we're just going to go in there nicely and quietly and transition.
Your coach, I become sometimes your mom, and sometimes your grandma. But that's basically our goal is. We will be observing you in the classroom, we will take care of your placement, we will have that open communication with a mentor. We will be observing you, like I mentioned, in the classroom, but also we will be evaluating you and making sure that you are ready for the classroom.
Which one's the teacher? We can't really tell. So you guys did a really, really awesome job. How about we start with giving them a round of applause? They look so calm and collected, but as Edward was sharing with a few of you here, and I'm going to ask him to share a little bit about that again, they're all in the middle of getting their observations done, their performance assessments. Edward just had his first one today, so let's say, yay, Edward! But it's very stressful, and it is a lot of pressure to be under, but they all did an amazing job. I didn't get to see you, but they did it all. I'm sure you were just as awesome. They all did an amazing job in their placements, and really, really were showing a great job of what TCs do. So Edward, we'll kick it off with you telling us a little bit about that performance assessment, and then it'll just be questions and answers. Whatever you guys are curious about, you want to ask them, and whoever feels comfortable can address the question.
So, you want to like stand up?
Yes, absolutely. Whatever's comfortable for you.
Whatever's comfortable.
For the performance assessment, which we give them, we call PAs, so we'll say PA 1, 2, 3, 4. So the performance assessments, we do one over all 4 subjects, so ELAR, math, science, social studies. And what they are is we teach a lesson to the class, but in this lesson, we prepare it down to like the T. So we will script it. We have all our strategies in there. We have all our material ready beforehand. And we do that, try to get it like over a week before. And then before we can even present this lesson, we then go to our site coordinators, and then we have pre-evaluation. So they go over the lesson, they have questions. Why are you doing this way? What do you think about this? And so it's a lot of work to go into a lesson. But after, when you do a lesson, you will record it, you go back, you script it, and evaluate yourself. But you actually get to like see a lot that you can evaluate on because you put so much work into it. So you know all the details into your lesson, so you can see, so you can evaluate all the details after you finish your lesson. So it's a really good. It's so far it's really good way to like reflect, because not only are you reflecting, but you're seeing like you're not only saying, oh, I need to do this, but you say like I can do this next time, implement new strategies. So it's a lot though, it's stressful.
He looks really happy. He keeps saying it's stressful, but he looks really happy. Thank you, Edward. Yeah, no, you did great. Thank you. So what questions do y'all have about the performance assessment or about anything else? It's the open floor for the participants. Yes, ma'am.
Hardest part that you guys would say?
Good question.
I would say, ooh, girl. Okay, let's start with the beginning. No, I would say like once you get into a rhythm, it gets a little bit easier, but just that constant like onslaught of like knowing your schedule, knowing like, okay, I have this due, and like planning ahead. And if you're not like a planner, if you're not like a person that's like looking weeks ahead, which I am not, I'm like, what can I get done today? You're gonna be like, on 2 days you have like all this stuff to do, and you still have to come in, and you still have to be there for your kids, and you still have to be their teacher. So you have to be able to, I think for me personally, it was planning ahead and not just looking a week out in advance for like my assignment, but a month, 2 months. What am I going to be doing? Because my PA came up around the time that I had 2 assessments due, and I was so stressed out because I waited until the last minute because I was like, oh, my PA, I'll just pop in some stuff. And our PAs, I will tell you guys, they make you break it down. Like, you're not just writing, oh, my kids are going to color. No, why are they going to color? What cognitive process are they going to use? What is the purpose of it? What teeth does this align to? So you're going to have to go through all of that, and so you can't just kind of float by and like, you know, do a last minute assignment. Everything has to be planned down to the minute, and I think that was something for me that I'm a big procrastinator. I was not prepared for, and so you're going to get a lot of growth in this program, and it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. I've cried at least 4 times in this school, and it's only like month 3, but it's good because I'm reflecting on, okay, what can I do better next time? I don't want this to happen again. I already started my PA2. My PA2 is not until November. I'm already working on it. So I'm already planning with my teacher, figuring out what teaks we're going to do, and then planning my pre-assessment. I put up my data wall. When some of you guys came in with Zainab, I was in there working on my data wall, so I could come in and be like, okay guys, we're working on this teak, and my kids know, and I know, and just having visuals around the classroom. So, Anna, you? He's like, no, the light is on you.
Like she's saying.
Can we just give her a big round of applause though? Like, thank you, everybody. Like,
it's okay, you'll get used to it.
It does take a lot of courage to be able to say, hey, I'm really not this good at doing something, but look at me, I'm learning, I'm reflecting, I'm becoming more organized. All of those skills are going to help you.
Really quickly what you're not good at, and then you're going to fix it in that moment, and you're going to adjust. You don't have time to like, I like to wallow. You're not going to have time to wallow. You're going to be like, oh, okay, my kids aren't, okay, well, all right, let's fix this. What can we do differently this time or next class? It's going to be a quick turnaround, and then eventually you're going to have time to reflect, but in that moment you have to be able to keep it moving and keep up with your kids, because these kids, they got the energy. And that's just the life of a teacher.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, a teaching job, if you're coming in it because of the summers when you're good pay, okay? I'm not saying you don't get summer off, the pay's pretty decent now. Especially at the DISD, may I attract you to DISD?
Yes,
Teachers in my building that are making $74,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How many years have they been teaching, if you don't mind sharing?
Laura Laywell.
Okay,
that's my mentor.
Our group is convinced that she has a YouTube channel on instruction. We're like, she is ready to do it.
Yeah. For example, Miss Laywell, she hasn't really been teaching for, it's less than 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's really good at what she does.
10 years in the classroom before she goes on. I'm pushing her to be a coach, an instructional coach. But she's like, nope, I want 10 years in the classroom solid. So I think that's a good idea for her. But I can see you taking on a lot of Laywell's personality. I'm already there. So that's good. You're going to be so wanted. It's going to be unbelievable. But that's exactly what sets the Texas Tech students apart, y'all. You want to be wanted, well, you got to put in the work, you know? Nothing that's easy comes without any work. So yes, there is some work, you know, that you're going to do, but the reward of it is so much better, and it's so much more than a paycheck. It really is something that is gratifying, and I've always said, you always know when a good teacher is there because if you're not crying your first year, by the first 6 weeks, okay, I wonder about
For
you.
6 hours.
Teacher, no, like you almost get hit with, am I good enough? You know, that's what I always struggled with was am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? I mean, really, I was just a girl off the street. I didn't study education. I have a management degree. And so when I came into teaching, it was like you. I really thought I was doing something. Do y'all remember Soul Train from back in the day? Okay, so I used to have my second graders do a Soul Train line, something, and now I look back at that and I was like, oh my God, what was I doing?
But it was fun.
And they learned.
Look at me now. But yeah, it is work. And yes, you do cry, and that's normal. That's completely 100% normal. I still 100% believe that that's what makes tech students so much better candidates. It's that they come a lot more prepared. They have seen in action. You've got to change it on the spot for a kid. And then the reflection doesn't happen until 3 p.m. or 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you know, or in your room somewhere. But that the reward is so much more. It's more than a paycheck. It's more than, it's a child's life that you're changing. And you're not just changing one child's life. You're changing the whole entire family. You know, you touch more than just a child. You touch their future. You touch whether they graduate from college, whether their family has food, you know, on the table the following years whenever they're back in school. And hopefully you affect them enough for them to come back and want to teach or want to be involved in the community that they grew up in. So, congratulations. I know you're just like Laura.
Yes. I have the best mentor teacher, so hopefully you guys get placed an amazing. Jack Lowe is amazing, and you want to come here, so talk to your site coordinator and play well. Number 1.
We have a lot of amazing mentors.
I might have. And I'm like, correction. He's in second grade. So, you know, kind of going off of what the other teacher said, it's very hard, yes. But it all comes down to time management. You have to know how to manage your time and priorities. If it has to get done, like she said, you have to look ahead, you know. But that's with anything, even with teaching, because we're lesson planning for the week prior. So you're not, as a teacher, you're not going to wait till the morning of to think of your lesson or to think of what you're going to do, or even the week of. You have to think ahead because you have to gather materials. You have to look at what you're going to teach. You have to look at your students, where your students stand, what they know, what they don't know, what you have to build on, what you have to work with, you know. And it all comes down to time management. It's hard, yes, but it's doable, yes. And I can speak for myself. I have a daughter, a 4-year-old, so, and I have a husband, and I have life outside. And it's stressful and it's tiring because I'm a mom and, you know, the late nights, but it's doable. So I feel like as a parent, which some of us are parents, as parents, if we can do it, I think we're all parents.
All of us are parents, yes.
So if he has a newborn at home and he can manage.
He just had a baby.
Edward, I'm like, get excited.
So you're talking to like a group of people who have lives. My kids have been living off of box mac and cheese, and they will be for the rest of this year. And then my
and
son,
see, that's the thing about it. You know, some of you guys don't have children, and so you think like, oh, it's going to be so hard. It's not, because if we as parents, we can manage the schoolwork, we can manage coming to work, you know, getting here on time. It's doable. It's a doable program. Yes, it's hard, and you're going to hear it all the time. Yes, you're going to cry. Yes, you're going to be frustrated.
But moms are here. Grandmas.
That's the beauty of having a site coordinator. Because if you have an issue, if you have a problem, if you need help, that's what they're here for. They're here to help you. They're here to guide you. If you have questions, even if it's a silly question and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, you just reach out to them and they will get back to you and they'll tell you, don't worry about it, you gotta do it like this, or you have, you know, it's a growing experience for sure, because I thought I was a very well organized person. I am. If you guys look at my calendar, and he laughs because if you guys look at my calendar, all of my assignments are on my calendar for the whole semester. Per assignment, per grade, like per teacher, like it's color coordinated. It's crazy because that's who I am. Like, I am an organizer, but we're not all like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, the program, it does fit. You think like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Like, this girl is crazy. She has everything scheduled and she still thinks it's crazy, you know? But everyone is different, and I feel like the program will mold you to be a better educator, because you, as a teacher, sometimes, you know what, your colleague is out. You gotta think on your feet, because now we have to split that classroom up, or we have to find some coverage, or we have to figure it out. And the same thing with the program. There's times where assignments, the due date was wrong on, you know, on the assignment, and the professor's like, there's a correction, the assignment's due this date. And you have to think on your feet. You have to, like, you know, and I think that helps not only with the program, but it also helps in life, the flexibility. Like, you have to learn to be flexible. You have to learn to be able to, you know, multiple things are always gonna come your way. And I feel like this program is really good at helping you be flexible, because I'm a stickler for my schedule, my assignments, and I am, like, even my teacher's like, we're kind of opposite, you know, but we work together well because we are opposite, you know. I am very like, what are we doing now? What are we doing next? What comes next? What is this? What is that? And he's like, I like it. Like, he's like, you keep me on my toes because I have to.
That is
like,
that's everywhere.
you know, and it's just
That's him.
And it's very, you know, it's a very, very rewarding experience. Like, to see, you know, my kids, like, we're working on something, and that little light bulb, like, oh, I did it. You know, it's one of the, like, that's, I think, ultimately is gonna be your pay. Like, yes, we're gonna get paid. Like, nobody works for free, but, you know, ultimately your reward is gonna be those students. And for me, I've always wanted to be an educator. Like growing up, I'm like, I want to be the teacher. Like, I want to play teacher. Like, that was me, you know? I didn't have the opportunities, and then I did, and then, you know, life happened, and now I have to do this program, which I was like, oh, now I can't go to tech, and I can't go to the campus, and but you feel like you're there because you have so much support, because your instructors will email you if you have questions. You know, I don't know who their professors are, but I've been, you know, I feel very blessed, because if I have a question and I reach out to my professor, it doesn't take them 2, 3, 4 days to get back to me. Some professors, within an hour and a half, I have a response on an assignment that I didn't understand, or I understood this, and they meant this, and so they'll let you know, you did this assignment, but you need to correct this. You know, and it's just, it feels like I'm there. Like, I don't feel like, oh my gosh, it's all online. I don't have any help. I don't, like, we have, you know, conference calls. You get to see your professor. You know, it's just a very, very rewarding program. And for myself, it's really hard, like, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I do stress, and I do think about, like, oh, my assignments, I have this assignment, I have that assignment, I have, you know, so many things to do, my PA, you know, everything. But it's not impossible. It's very doable. It is going to take a lot of hard work. Like, don't think that you're not. You have to work hard, and you have to want it. If you don't want it, this isn't for you. You have to.
But the satisfaction when you complete the
Like,
program.
mic drop. Thank you, Laura.
Laura, thank you.
Let's take some more questions. Yes, ma'am.
So your classes, are those scheduled all online?
Yes, so your classes are formatted to where you basically can see, you have your syllabus, and on your syllabus, all of your assignments are there. You know what's coming. Like, it's not like, surprise, here's an assignment.
Yeah.
It's like, no, everything is there, your due dates are there, their requirements are there. So it's up to you. If you have a whole weekend to just do homework, and you want to do all of it, and you want to work ahead, by all means. That is, it's meant for you to work. Yes, we have deadlines, of course, but it's all there. It's not like it's hidden or you have to wait. You know, the only ones that I think that we have to wait on are math and science, and that's just because we're following
Modules.
We're following modules, so you have to complete the whole thing. And it's not just like, oh, it's just an assignment, or, you know, it's like there's activities, and they want you to actually look at what you're doing. You know, it's not just reading and answering questions or reading for comprehension. You have to record yourself. That's another thing. Of course, we record ourselves. Not just
All
for
the
your
time.
PA, not just for your PA, not just for your evaluation, but for assignments. I am doing bilingual. I'm working on my bilingual certification, so I have to record myself speaking in Spanish, reading in Spanish. Everything has to be done in Spanish. I have to record myself for that class. For science, we have to record ourselves giving a mini lesson or an activity, parts of it, with a small group. For math, we have to record ourselves explaining, the process of a particular TEK that we were working on. So you can see yourself, and like Edward said, you get to reflect on yourself as an educator, because you're like, I keep using this word, or I keep saying this over and over again. You can see your mistakes, you can see what you can change, your mannerisms sometimes. Sometimes you don't realize, and your face just looks like, and that's my problem. Like, I constantly look like I'm upset, and I'm not. And I'm just like, and I can see myself, and I'm like, why am I so sad? Like, why do I look like that? So
Everybody smile.
You can see yourself. You can see your mistakes. You can pick up on it, and you can be like, oh, I can fix that. I can just, all I have to do is smile. It sounds so easy, but and it's little things like that. Or I keep using the word guys. Like, you guys are this, and they're like, what? Like, sometimes they don't know that word. You have to use boys and girls or things like that. Like, just little things that you pick up on when you're doing your activity and you're looking at it again. It's just it helps you. It just helps you grow, because you can notice it. Like, when you're doing something, you don't realize, like I said, your words, your mannerism, your facial expression, and you're like, oh, that looks crazy. Like, we're kids. Like, I'm sorry. Like, because you go back and you're like, I was stuttering, or I was doing this. It just builds that confidence as an educator, because you've seen yourself. And so when you guys were walking in and I saw that, I was like, oh, they're just recording me. I'm just recording because you become so used to it. You see yourself, and you always see yourself. At first, when we first started the program in the summer, and one of the activities was record yourself, and I was like, I can't. Like, what if I'm talking to this is weird. Like, I can't. It was so uncomfortable. But again, being a teacher is uncomfortable, because you have to break out of that comfort zone, because you're going to have students that are from all over the world that are so different from you, and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, but it's part of being a teacher. You have to be. If you're not uncomfortable, then
you're not growing.
You're not at all.
That's a good way to put it.
And I think that this actually helps you practice, and practice makes perfect for any scenario.
But you'll never be perfect.
There's always room for growth. Yeah, every day that we're practicing, either if we notice it then, sometimes we don't, sometimes we leave, and we're like, oh, I should have done this. I bet you they would have understood the concept more if I would have done this, or if I would have done that. So even recording, definitely, you see like everything. But even just every day, you're constantly thinking, how can I do better? How can I change? And so I think that's probably the best part is
your professors are also going to be very good at giving you feedback. Like the science professors are like, you were not proficient in your content, so you don't know how to explain how clouds are formed. So they will tell you, like, they know that you can't fake the funk with them. So if you're doing math and you're saying borrowed, and you mean to like regroup or something, which I don't know.
You can't fake it till you make it.
They're like, you cannot fake it.
Nobody's borrowing anything.
I'm like, guys, I'm quick to say I'm not good at this, and I'll be like, borrowed, and point off. So you have to be like proficient, and you will get lots of feedback. And I think, again, you have to be able to not take, speaking from a very sensitive person, heart to heart, like, you cannot take things personally. All your site coordinator wants to do is get you pat through this program, and they want to get you a job. All your cohort members want to do is support you and get you to get out and get a job and with these kids. So when someone comes to you, whether it be your principal, your mentor teacher, or anybody comes to you and they have feedback to give you, you have to come in at it with an open mind and being like, oh, okay, I definitely hear what you're saying. Even if they don't like how you're saying it, or you don't agree, you have to take it in and be like, okay, this is my problem area, or this is where someone noticed something, because your site coordinator is going to be like, you weren't presenting instructional content right, or you weren't doing this, and you're going to be like, but I was doing this. So you have to be very mindful of those things and being open to feedback, and it's going to grow with you as you go into like working, because I can tell you that my mentor teacher is constantly like, what can I do better? And she's asking me, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just here. But she's honestly asking me, what can I do better? How can I be better? And she's constantly like pushing me, and seeing her even 8 years in, I think 8 years in, asking me, 1 year teacher, like, what can I do better? Is like, okay, so you can get feedback from we get feedback from the kids. We ask them, okay guys, we noticed that this isn't going well. What can we do differently? And even the kids are like, oh, Miss Lewell, you did this, or Miss Kalingo, you said that wrong. And no, the kids will tell you. And so you have to be on your feet and open to all kinds of feedback from this program, and that's a huge part of this program. I think it's going to be a huge part in teaching as well.
It's part of our goal.
Yes.
To become self-reflective.
Yes.
I think we're hearing the word uncomfortable, and I think I want to clarify one piece about that. No, this is really good. What you guys are saying is amazing, and it's very authentic and genuine, and I'm really glad that I'm personally, just like from a teacher perspective, I'm very proud of you guys. I'm just like, oh, you're growing. But really the bottom line is you're cultivating this growth mindset that they're all sharing with you. And it does help you. It's not just about your isolated, I'm a teacher in the classroom. This is something that can impact your entire life. When you take on that mindset of how can I consistently be a better teacher, whether I'm thinking about my role as a mom, a friend, a student, we have opportunities to grow. And you're right, we're never going to be perfect. The day you feel like you don't have anything to learn, you lose your purpose. There's nothing else to strive for. And when we build that in ourselves as teachers, we show that to our students, and we're modeling it for them as well. But I guess for me, and I agree with everything that they're saying about you do grow outside of your comfort zone, but I personally have a different perspective on that uncomfortableness. It's not so much about being uncomfortable, it's about being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like recognizing that is just a part of your experience, like they're saying, but it doesn't have to be like this mindset of like, oh, I'm preparing to hurt. Like, I'm uncomfortable, and I love being uncomfortable because I learn in that zone. When I push myself, being uncomfortable simply means getting out of what you know, getting out of what you're used to. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be a bad feeling. It just means that you're opening up those wings and you're ready to just go out there and fly, right? You might take a nosedive, but you're going to come back up again, and at the end of the day, you're still going to continue soaring in that direction. So there's ups and downs, and you push outside of that feeling, but it can be a very exciting and rewarding part of that whole process as well.
And we know that you're hearing a lot, oh, there's a lot of work, and we have this, and we have that. And some of you already know as we come to your class visits, and we talk to you about the program, because it is 2 years of work. There's no shortcuts, right? Where you still have to do the work to become a teacher, what the state requires and everything. So yes, you're gonna have a full load, but again, as you hear, it is doable. It's just that, you're doing 2 years of work into one. So it is gonna feel like I have a lot, and it never ends. It's one assignment after another, because again, you're completing 2 years into one. And also, about the recording part, I know that they're talking about seeing yourself, because it is going to be uncomfortable when you first see yourself being recorded or whatnot. But also why do we do that is because we're teaching you the best teaching practices, right? And we want you to watch those videos, and do you see them? How do they go? I know I heard presenting instructional content. Were you able to have those visuals? Did you model for the students? So those are the things that we also want you to look at when you're looking at your video, and reflect on those best teaching practices. Because what we want you to do is, when you come out of our program, it's not just, I know how to teach, 3rd grade or 4th grade. No, I know how to teach. I can be a teacher in any grade because I know the best teaching practices that I need to do with my students, no matter where they come from or their level of learning. I know how to adjust to them, because it's not about us, right? It's about them. We reflect on ourselves to make, to have our students learn. So I know it's kind of like, like scary that they're doing all that, but we do that for a reason. And again, we're very glad that you're sharing, and that it is something hard, and you might feel overwhelmed, but again, it's doable. We wouldn't be here if it was impossible. I think possible, right? Go ahead.
I would say I did this program because I wanted to be uncomfortable, and so what you said, Zainab, I say uncomfortable in a good way, because I've always been a person that does well in school, and I've been able to kind of wing it
for a long time. And so I knew that this program would be something that I would actually have to like really put my all into. And so I could like, I'm not like growth mindset again. You're going to, like, I have always told myself, I'm bad at math, I'm not good at math. And so now I'm going to throw myself into a math class and go in there and, like, help out and teach and learn, like, how can I teach these kids? Even if I think I'm not good, I can actually become good. And so a lot of, like, the uncomfortableness, I'm talking about it in a positive way.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because it's helping you grow.
Because it is 110% making me a better person, and I feel it. And, again, it's just not easy to grow. And so for me, I know that, like, I've always winged it. And so I'm an organized person, but I still like, I'm like, I'll wait until the last minute and then I can get it done and I'll still get like a B and I'll be fine. But now I have to be like, no, if I want that B or if I want that A, I really have to work for it. And so that's been good for me. And so if you feel like you're one of those people that gets to kind of like skate by on like just being, I can write an essay in like 30 minutes and it'd be A- material. If you're one of those people, this program is for you because you're going to be like, oh, no, they really want me to like break this down and understand and apply, and they want to see me record myself and do it. They don't just want an essay. They don't just want me to read the comprehension. They want me to go in the classroom, do it, and then explain it to them, and then explain it to kids. And you don't know anything until you've tried to explain it to kids. You don't know anything. You think you know how to count? Try explaining how to count to a kindergartner.
It gets challenging. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make the most of Ms. Rose' time because she's busy with her school, but I want to give her a chance to address y'all, and then we're going to take a group picture together, all of us. So, Ms. Rose.
Thank you guys so much for coming. I talk a whole lot, so please just, do y'all have any questions for me at all? No? Okay, good. No, actually, I was going to mention on our, oh my God, they are so amazing. I feel so sorry for you because you have Baruch.
Oh, I love Baruch.
Okay, well,
No,
Baruch will
he's a
share
work-
any
yes.
lesson that you have up. Like, he will tell
He just
you.
poke holes in it.
Yeah, I just listened to him do a timeline. Miss Lewa was trying to get them to identify important events. And so, you know, she's like, I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I married Mr. Laywell, I came to school, I taught the kids, identify the important event. And all the kids were like, well, you got married, not Baruch. Baruch said, technically, when you came to our school, I mean, that's kind of a big deal that you're teaching us, right? Yeah. And you're like, yeah, and that's Baruch
every
all the time.
Day, all the time, no matter what you do.
Yeah. And then you were fortunate enough to deal with a student who swears he's got a stomach problem. Every single day we went to the hospital with him. Yeah, that was fun. And he still has stomach issues. So, y'all, the world of teaching, it's so beautiful. It's a great word. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful disaster at times, but it is what it is. And you know, we really need people like you that are educators that are wanting to make a difference. If you want to truly make a difference, teaching is the way to go. No, it's not easy because you're dealing with real life human beings, you know, and they're little and they'll tell you anything. Yeah, they'll tell you everything, and they'll tell you like, oh, your hair looks pretty today, not like yesterday, you know, and they'll tell you, they're brutally honest about those things. But I really do encourage you to come into the profession. It's a great profession. I've never met anybody that wasn't in love with teaching after they tried it for a year. I've worked with people who were determined to be lawyers and they were going to take a year to teach because they wanted to take a year that was easier. And then they fell in love with it and realized that being a teacher is not the easiest job in the whole wide world. Yeah, summers off and all that stuff, it comes with a price, you know? You work. Yeah, you work the entire, school starts August 21st, it ends May 31st, you know? There is no clocking out. I mean, you clock out, yes, but you're at home, and when you're shopping, you think about your kids, and, oh, if I would have just done it this way, or this would look really cute on so-and-so, and then you're spending your own money trying to buy clothes for, you know, other people's children. But it's a wonderful, wonderful profession. We would love to welcome back any TCs. I'm always like, tell them to put them here.
Aww.
We have first dibs.
That's awesome.
So the more the merrier. If you want to send me some more, currently recruiting. Yeah. And of course, you know, we like to hire from within. Right now, I do know that I'm going to have a position open in pre-K for next year because one of our teachers is moving away. So we're already looking, we're already eyeing. Yeah, we're already eyeing who's going to, yeah, be a good candidate. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for coming, and yeah, let's take a picture.
Big round of applause for Ms. Barnes. Perhaps if we maybe just do it right here, I think this is the biggest spot. If we can have everybody come up to the front, and maybe our teacher candidates can be in the front.